We're out in South Tyrol, which is, or Tyrol, or whatever it's pronounced. It's basically on the tip of Italy, the very top of Italy, sort of North Italy. But if you ask the locals here, they'll all tell you it's Austria. They class it very much as Austria. There seems to be a real divide between the north and south of Italy. But I'm here for a couple of days. We're dotting around countries. We're going to Penny's parents over in Melk, which is in Austria. Then we went down to Vienna to see her friend for a couple of days, and now we're in South Tyrol. And then once we've done this, we're heading back to Austria, back to Melk for another week or so, I think. So this video is just while I'm here. I just thought I'd show you the spectacular scenery here. It's just stunning. Anyway, I shouldn't really be doing this. I'm supposed to be with Penny and the family, so I'll see you later on. All right, everybody, and this is the next day. This is actually where we're staying. This is South Tyrol here. It is stunning here. It really is. Actually, that up there, what you can see up there is where that was where I was yesterday, right up there. Anyway, the main purpose of doing this video is because, as I'm a bit of a sad bastard, as we all know, I brought my screwdrivers with me on holiday, which is a bit of a sad thing to admit to, but it doesn't matter. The point is, there are a lot of differences in wiring between the UK and Austria, Germany. You know, there's a lot of differences. So I brought my screwdrivers with me, and I just thought we'll have a little look and just compare the differences, because it's not like the little things. There's some really odd things that I don't understand the reason why they're so different. So let's have a little look. All right, so the first thing to notice, that's our front door there, right? And not particularly interesting, that's just outside, but fuse board is right here, okay? Now we've got it's a metal cased front, but the inside of it is plastic. So we've got it's a plastic fuse board, but it's got a metal case over it. Now, we're actually in Italy at the moment, although they class it as Austria, this is actually technically Italy. Over in the UK, obviously we have the reg that we've got to fit metal fuse boards. Now, do they have that reg here already? Because they fitted a plastic board, but they put a metal enclosure over it. Now, is that just the way that this contractor has done it, or is that because they have to have metal enclosures? So if anyone knows the answer to that, leave that in the comments below. And is Italy, because Italy's a huge place, is it divided? Are the regs in Italy different? So do you get North Italy and South Italy? Or is it just, because I don't know. So if anybody knows the answer, leave it below. So right, give me 2 minutes to take this cover off. Okay, fuse board cover off. Now I'm not going to start f***ing around with this too much. I'm not going to start taking breakers out and shit, because this isn't even mine, all right? I'm just taking the cover off just so we can have a little look inside and just see how things are different. So it looks like we've got an RCD up here, which is the main switch. So that we've got a feed in which comes in down here, which looks like a 10mm cable. Now they're using singles everywhere here. This is all singles. So we've got a pair of 10mm. It could be 6mm actually. I'm not sure. Actually, it might be 6mm. So we've got 6mm tails which come up here into a 40 amp. They're still using. It's a 40 amp, 30 milliamp RCD. So they're still using the same sort of RCDs we use. And it then goes, they're using black as live or line, whichever you prefer to call it. So they use blue as neutral, black as live. That then goes up into a double buzz bar, and then it comes, so basically you feed it into the top. Our feed outs come from the top of the breaker. Here they're doing it the other way. So you've got live and neutral coming into the top in this buzz bar, which then goes into the breaker, and by the looks of it, just out at the bottom, but they're using double pole isolators here. Over here in the UK, we just use single pole isolators in fuse boards, but here they use double pole. The breaker sizes are all pretty standard here. They're using C-type breakers over here. They're using C16s here for the radial circuits, and they're using C10s for the lighting circuits. And then some of them are doubled up. Some of the feed outs, the lives, are doubled up by the looks of it. But one thing I have noticed, which looks really neat actually, is they're using these ferrules, the jointing ferrules, which is something I might start doing on my fuse boards actually, because it looks properly neat. It gives you a really neat finish. So maybe that's something I'll introduce on my boards back in the UK perhaps, because that's a really neat way of doing it. And then down here, by the looks of it, it's definitely a plastic. It's a plastic enclosure with this metal case around the outside of it. So here we've got what appears to be, we've got single cables. They're using, yeah, they're using singles with what appears to be 20mm PVC Copex. And they knock out the plastic knockouts and they just come straight in like this, yeah. Now I don't actually know how neat this is. I don't know if this is the way that it's normally done. We've got grip fill there by the looks of it, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I don't know what the regs are here. You know, I've got no idea what is or isn't acceptable. I mean, they're using double pole breakers here, so I mean that's not something we use in the UK at all. I've got absolutely no idea of what is or isn't acceptable here. Down here it looks like we've got a transformer for the doorbell. We've got a relay of some description. Don't know what that is. Mind you, that's no help because it's all in German. I'm just going to use Google Translate. Just 2 minutes. Okay, so a little bit of Googling. So that is that's the doorbell. That one was the outside lights, outside sockets, and that is this one here, which is the relay for the outside lights. Now, they seem to be really big on relays here, and they seem to use them everywhere. It's not just here. In Austria, they're really big on using relays for some reason, mostly for lighting, and I don't know why. I'm going to try and look into that a bit more when I get back there, because in the UK, we don't really, for domestic stuff, we don't use relays for anything. We just don't, it's not needed. So here, I don't know why they're sort of using it as the way they are. I don't know. So yeah, this one here is the doorbell. That's outside lights, outside sockets, and that's the relay for the outside lights. But I'm not sure why they're putting lights on. I don't understand why. Because the switches, which are these ones here, so that's the inside lights here, and those are for the electric blinds by the windows, which are over there on those two windows there, right? But I assume these switches must be able to accommodate 610 amps. I mean, surely I'd have thought so. So that's the next thing. If anybody knows why Austria, Italy, they're so hot on using relays for lighting, leave it in the comments below, because I can't see a reason why the UK hasn't adopted it, if that makes any sense. I don't really understand, you know, if the rest of Europe are using them and the UK aren't, why? So if you know the answer, put it in the comments below, because it'd be good to know. I mean, the outside, all we've got out here, we've got the intercom panel here, we've got one outside light there, and then you've got a PIR for it just there. But that's it. I mean, there's nothing else anywhere else. That's it. And then obviously you've just got the downstairs, which is then to the other apartments, all the way down there. So I'm not sure why use a relay for just one light fitting. You know, I don't really understand that. I mean, because the door access is a different system. That's on a different fuse. So why you'd have a relay for one light, I don't really understand. I'm not sure. But anyway, if anybody knows the answer, leave it below. Right, other quirky little things I've found. It does seem to be wired well. Certainly looks like, you know, because these are all generic. All the apartments here, they're all exactly the same. Downstairs, where Penny's parents are, their apartment is exactly the same as this one. There are no isolators for any of the utilities in the kitchen. So normally we'd have a, you know, cooker isolator, washer machine, you know, whatever. But we've got a cooker, hob, and a dishwasher. But there's no isolators anywhere. And I also can't see any in the. They haven't like hidden them under the cupboards or anything. So I'm not sure. Yeah, that's just the dishwasher, fridge, freezer. Yeah, there's no isolators in any of the cupboards. So. A little safe, but that's it. So again, that's the next thing. Is it a requirement over here that you've got to have isolators for your appliances? Because in the UK, you've got to have them. If you've got like a dishwasher, you've got to have some sort of isolation switch here to be able to turn it off. Here it looks like it's not a requirement. So if anybody, again, if you know the answer to that for Italy, leave it below. And that was the other thing. That's actually one of the last things I could think of. I know in Austria, they're really big on it. They've got these electric motorized safety shutters. And you never ever see them in fact, I tell a lie, I've seen it one place in the UK. So basically you just have your switches here for your electric shutters outside. So you just turn it on like that and your blinds just start coming down, and they're just safety shutters. These ones are quite light duty ones. These ones are, I mean, they're still metal, but they're quite light duty. These aren't anything heavy. But it does seem strange because it's a really good safety measure. But for some reason, we've not adopted it in the UK, and I don't really know why. So again, if anyone knows the answer, leave it below, because things like that seem to make a lot of sense. I'm not sure why the UK haven't adopted it. But anyway, as usual, comments below. So in the bathroom, that was the other thing actually. Switchgear in the bathroom. So here in the corner, we've got our sink, and then we've got our switchgear here. So we've got the switch for the light above, okay, but also we've got a socket outlet, and that's just a normal socket outlet. It's no different. So I'm just plugging in the toothbrush charger, but we have a socket right next to the sink in the bathroom. Now the hairdryer, obviously that's double insulated and all that sort of jazz, and it is designed for use in a bathroom, so that's okay in an English perspective. But the socket, no. So I'm guessing their rules on where you can have sockets in bathrooms must be completely different, because in the UK we'd never get away with that. So that's another interesting one if anybody knows the answer to that. Isolators, again, there's no isolator for the fan in here, because again in the UK we'd have them on the outside of the bathroom, normally up above. And we haven't got that here at all. Light fitting appears to be IP rated by the looks of it. Maybe it isn't. I can't fully tell if that's an IP rated light. Yeah, again, it's a lack of isolators again. So if anybody knows the answer, comments below. So here is not too bad. This looks like a pretty new installation. And they've also got a really nice little emergency light fitting. I've seen these in multiple places. They're really, really neat emergency lights. If I turn off, yeah, so it does come on, but they're really neat. They're ever so neat little emergency lights. I quite like those. I've not seen those in many places in the UK either, but it's quite a nice, neat finish. I like it. So yeah, there's a few key differences here. There are a few things which are completely different here. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that, and sorry for the late upload because I've been away here since I left on Friday morning. So this is the first time I've managed to get near Wi-Fi to be able to actually upload anything. So apologies for the late upload. There is another video coming next week which will be from Vienna no, there'll be another video next week coming from Melk, which is Penny's hometown. So that'll be next week's upload, because again the electrics there are totally different from here. So it's just interesting to see around the world how things are different. But anyway, I'm going to get going because I've got stuff to do. I will see you next week. If you want to subscribe to this channel, you're going to click up here. Want to watch another video, up here. Comments down the bottom, which I'd really appreciate on this video. And otherwise, I'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.